Welcome to Coffee and Books channel. In this video we will present the summary of The Richest Man in Babylon, by s.clason. The Richest Man in Babylon is a 1926 book by George Samuel Clason, that dispenses financial advice through a collection of parables set 4,097 years earlier, in ancient Babylon. The book remains in print almost a century after the parables were originally published, and is regarded as a classic of personal financial advice. We will go through every chapter of the book and then we will present the 7 cures for a lean purse, and the 5 laws of gold. Chapter 1, The Man Who Desired Gold. Chapter 1 talks about the chariot builder of Babylon who is wondering why he cannot have the same goods as his old friend, the richest man in Babylon, when they had the same predispositions in youth. He realized he had been working hard all this time and had some talent for chariot building, but his budget was only enough for basic life needs. So, he decided to visit his friend and ask him the same question he was asking himself. Chapter 2, The Richest Man in Babylon. Chapter 2 is about a wealthy man named Arkad and his path to that wealth. Here you can find plenty of advice about saving and spending money and reframing your thinking of money. The main thing Arkad was saying to his friend is thoughts about the money you earn. You need to know that you are making money for yourself, not for bills, food or clothes. So you have the right to keep one part of it and wisely decide what to do with that money. How to make that small part grow and work for you. Chapter 3, 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. Chapter 3 clearly defines 7 rules for saving and increasing your money. This chapter shows different stories about Babylon residents, their way of investing money, and family care. Even more important can be the part about mistakes and losing money and how to avoid these mistakes. Here are the rules: start thy purse to fattening, control thy expenditures, make thy gold multiply, guard thy treasures from loss, make of thy dwelling a profitable investment, ensure future income, increase thy ability to earn. Chapter 4, Meet the Goddess of Good Luck. Chapter 4 will destroy your prejudice about pure luck without hard working. There is a speech about luck as a growth opportunity, not the finished product, because all luck in the world cannot help procrastinators succeed. Chapter 5, The 5 Laws of Gold. Chapter 5 is a story about the son and a wealthy father who is determined to test his son's skills and improve his wisdom. He gave him rules for the treatment of money and time to prove he was worthy of inheritance. You can find all 5 laws of gold deeply explained with examples in this chapter. These are the 5 laws. 1. Gold comes gladly and in increasing quantity to any man who will put by not less than 1/10 or his earnings to create an estate for his future and that or his family. 2. Gold works diligently and contentedly for the wise owner who finds for it profitable employment, multiplying even as the flocks of the field. 3. Gold holds on to and protects the cautious owner who invests it under the advice of men wise in its handling. 4. Gold slips away from the man who invests it in businesses or purposes with which he is not familiar or which are not approved by those skilled in its keep. 5. Gold flees the man who would force it to impossible earnings or who follows the alluring advice of tricksters and schemers or who trusts it to his own inexperience and romantic desires in investment. Chapter 6, The Gold Lender of Babylon. Chapter 6 provides the situation where you need to choose between logic and emotion when it comes to money lending. The most experienced lender of Babylon tells you his advice: to whom should you lend your money? How to be sure that people will return what they borrowed. Get to know that person, and ask her what she would do with borrowed money and how she can be sure she can return that amount to you. Do they have any property? Do they have the capacity to earn? Chapter 7, The Walls of Babylon. Chapter 7 describes one attempt at looting Babylon and once again proving its security. The walls of Babylon protected her citizens, walls whose construction required an enormous amount of money. Chapter 8, The Camel Trader of Babylon. Chapter 8 is a little bit different story about loans and methods of retrieving them. This part of the book highlights the difference between a slave and a free man, and what would each of them will do in a situation without any money source. Chapter 9, The Clay Tablets from Babylon. Chapter 9 continues talking about loans, describing in depth the situation from the previous chapter. That story was written on clay tablets and helped lost students to find their way out of financial problems. Chapter 10, The Luckiest Man in Babylon. Chapter 10 also talks about slaves and freedom, but this time from the slave's point of view. It highlights the importance of work and patience. You cannot find a way to freedom without putting effort and knowing that luck is the state of mind at the first point. Chapter 11, A Historical Sketch of Babylon. Chapter 11, at the very end, gives you a detailed description of the origin of Babylon through history and how one city at that time could have refined all innovation for a living, business, and enjoyment. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more.